The prelude to our story begins in Connecticut. In 1964, a young lady runs along the dark interior of a building with a baby in her arms. She is scared, escaping something or someone. Soon, however, a small group of people surrounds her. We don't see what happens next. Then we see California in the present time. A man leaves work to go to a laundromat. This is our protagonist, Adam, occupying the place with his wife, Beth. Their baby daughter is also with them. Since an elderly lady drops her change under a machine, Adam helps her by giving her his own. This is an ethical man who will help those in trouble. In a short time, a man named Jake calls Adam about his mother. He gives the negative news that she is missing. Jake is his brother, who wants nothing more right now than for Adam to come to stay at their mother's house for a while. The next scene has the family riding quite a distance to get there. Once they do, they are greeted by Jake and his wife, Christy. Inside, Adam looks at a photo of his mom, sparking an emotional flashback involving the two of them. After that, Adam meets some people there. They are all there to help with his missing mother. Among them comes an interesting young man who says he's Lawrence. He doesn't say much, though there is a presence about him. After him, an elderly lady by the name of Glenda comes to Adam. She was the last one to see his mom. The lady tells him her address, along with saying he is always welcome there. While Adam is outside with Jake at night, we observe someone watching them. From that initial observation, little can be said about this person's intentions. Inside, Christy comes to talk to Beth. She looks at her baby, which makes her remember her own. Unfortunately, he is no longer alive. However, Christy says she was happy to have him for the small time that she did. During sleep, Adam has a nightmare. He talks to the operator from 911 regarding his house being on fire. His father is stuck inside, unable to be found. Afterward, Adam wakes up. It is uncertain if that was just a nightmare, or if that was a nightmare connected to his past. He walks to see Beth in the kitchen as she mumbles to herself. For some reason, she is unaware of her surroundings. Shortly after, he sees an intimidating shadow behind her, making him wake up for real now. That morning, Beth compliments Christy's necklace. This causes the lady to generously give it to her. She says she has another one like it. Later, the two families are outside, placing flyers around town. The flyers, of course, are concerning Adam's missing mom. They then visit Glenda to give her some flyers. Adam asks her what she knows about Tom, his mother's ex-boyfriend. Glenda says she doesn't know anything. The next scene has Beth searching for Christy in the house. She enters a closet, where she finds another door that grabs her attention, so she opens it. Meanwhile, the brothers walk around a workshop area looking for Tom. Soon enough, a man comes out to ask them what they're doing there. He has what looks like a burn mark on his face, along with a slight attitude. They tell him their reason for being there. However, he is not who they're looking for. Back at the house, Beth continues to search the room she discovered. Well into it, she finds some white sheets covering something. Uncovering them reveals dolls. Why they needed to be covered like that is a mystery. As Beth does it, the shadow that Adam saw in his dream rises behind her. At the workshop, the brothers are finally greeted by Tom. He is a big man of late middle age, talking to them without holding back his thoughts. When another man there wants to know what they want, they just tell him the truth. It should be exactly what he wants to hear. Because on his chest, the words, "God hates liars," are written. Adam also asks Tom why he and Adam's mom stopped dating. To that, the other man starts giving him an attitude, saying his mom was a wacko. This offends Adam. Shortly after, the mechanics make it clear how they feel about these two coming to them to ask questions, like they're the police. Two more of them stand behind the brothers in an intimidating manner, with one of them being the man from earlier. They have no choice except to leave. Later, all of them are at the house again. Jake shares some information with Adam that upsets the latter. He says he had to check their mom into a clinic last year because she was unstable. The doctor said it was an attempt for her to end things, but she denied that's what it was. Adam is flabbergasted that Jake didn't tell him this before. Jake says she got depressed when he left. He didn't want Adam to feel guilty. Plus, Adam was dealing with a pregnancy. No one wanted to intervene in his life. Then Adam comes to his baby. While he holds her, we see a ghostly figure forming behind them. In the meantime, Beth has all the dolls she found gathered at a table. She looks at them, not knowing what to make of this discovery. One interesting aspect is that they have watchers written on them. Once Adam is alone with Beth, they get a visitor at the door. Adam knows her, calling her Angela. Something doesn't seem quite right with her. She came to warn him, mentioning Lawrence in particular. Adam should not trust the people associated with him. He is a monster, Angela says. Before running away, she wants Adam to find her. The next scene has Jake returning with Christy. Adam sits with one of the mysterious dolls in his hands. He asks Jake what is truly going on with their mother. The topic soon escalates into an argument. It segues into something else, about Jake somehow humiliating him. It caused Adam to not want to live near them anymore. We discover that Adam was in a relationship with Christy before she was with Jake. Adam even says that Jake knew he loved her. What exactly went on between them, we don't hear. After that, we see a gathering of people at Gateway. Once a man has finished talking about his life, Lawrence comes to offer him some final words of comfort. He also gives the man, with his wife, an item that has a triangle on it. It is a symbol of strength and regrowth. Shortly after, Lawrence turns to look at Adam, giving him an eerie smile. Coming to Glenda, Adam mentions the word, watchers, to her, the same words written on the dolls. She tells him his mom loved those dolls. but Adam tells her the strange things that she did to them. It doesn't quite fit the understanding of love. This brings discomfort to Glenda, making her change the subject. This is a peaceful place, she says. At home, Adam tries calling his mom. On his second attempt, he gets some strange sounds. He calls out to her, yet no one answers. So he calls again, only to get the answering machine. At this point, he decides to visit Tom, even though it's night. He lets Jake know that he's going. Eventually, he arrives at the place and sneaks around with a flashlight. He looks at a metal structure there that has a humanoid shape. The mechanics must have made it for fun. He then finds a photo of his mom. When he does, Tom calls out to him. He tells Adam he could get a police warrant to search this place for his mother. He doesn't seem worried by saying that. He also tells Adam that this town is full of crazy. According to Tom, Adam should be Glenda, not him. At that moment, he starts asking, in somewhat of a frenzy, if Adam is one of them. He readies his electric saw, but Jake shows up to slam him with a stick, knocking the big man down. Due to that, Adam wants to call an ambulance for him, yet Jake wants to avoid it. They are forced to leave once they hear police sirens. We come to learn now that two people have warned Adam about his mom's friends, Angela and now Tom. The next scene has Beth walking with the baby in her arms. As she does, the ominous shadow shows itself again. Shifting back to the brothers, they drive back. Something makes Adam turn somewhere, so Jake follows him. He gets out near Glenda's house. His reason is that he thinks he saw his mom in her window. He urgently knocks on her door. When Glenda comes out, he tells her what he saw. Adam wants to go up there, but the lady doesn't want him to. He has no choice except to enter uninvited, since the matter is important. Upstairs, he sees a covering, just like Beth saw with the dolls. Removing it reveals a person who looks like charcoal. Glenda didn't want him to see it. She also calls it her child. She couldn't save him after the fires, which is how he supposedly lost his life. The brothers don't know what to say to this. Glenda doesn't want them to tell anyone. After they leave the house, they just stand, confused, near the car. Glenda cries near her burnt son. Back at home, when Adam and Beth are asleep, the shadowy figure appears. We see his hand reach for the baby. It's uncertain what happens. In the morning, Adam comes to Beth, asking if she was crying in her sleep. He thinks she was, though she can't recall it. Then he sees Lawrence outside the window, talking to Jake. He gives Adam a strange smile as he walks away. A moment later, Adam tries to catch him outside. However, Lawrence just mysteriously vanishes when a car passes him. Shortly after, Jake leaves with Christy again somewhere for a few hours. They leave together rather frequently. Perhaps it's something Adam should check on. The first thing he does with them gone is to throw away the box of dolls. Afterward, he drives out alone somewhere. While we see him walking in the woods, we also see Lawrence giving a speech at Gateway. A baby is brought to him, prompting the people there to look at it like it's something spectacular. Following that, Angela meets Adam in the woods. She seems to be what he came for. He wants to know why she called Lawrence a monster. This makes her take him to her trailer, where she instantly starts talking about the research she's done on the Gateway. Every time a big disaster happens, they are always there to help before it does. Angela reasons that they either know the disaster will happen, or they cause it. Adam questions how that could be. That is when she shows him a newspaper from 1964. There is a picture of Lawrence on it, looking like he does now. If that is him, he is a supernatural being. Angela says that Lawrence burned someone's life to trade them. A child for a perfect life, she adds. With all this, she urges him to take his baby out of there quickly. They then hear something outside, which makes Angela run out. Adam follows his friend, but he seems to lose her. So he calls Beth, urging her to get out of there. He adds that Jake and Christy are not trying to help them. His wife's response is strange. She just tells him a statement Christy told her earlier. Is it even her that he spoke to? After the phone call, we see the shadowy man standing behind Adam. At the house, Beth stands over her crying daughter with an expressionless look. It seems like she was taken. Her mind is no longer what it used to be. Adam drives back, trying to call her, yet she doesn't answer. He arrives at the horrifying sight of his family not being there. So his next stop is the Gateways. He finds Glenda there, asking the lady where his daughter is. At this point, she doesn't hold back. She just tells him to let her go. She's going to a better place, according to Glenda. After that unpleasant news, Jake appears. He tells Adam to calm down, because the situation is not what he thinks. Adam demands to know who the Watchers are. He also says he knows what Jake did to his baby. Once more, he demands to know his daughter's whereabouts, grabbing Jake in the process to show he's serious. This causes a certain lady to reveal herself. But she's not just a lady, she's Adam's mother, the person this entire situation centers on. Her first words are that she's sorry they had to do this to Adam. Yet it was the only way to get him there. The lady seems glad to have her son there, and starts taking him further into the facility. She takes him to a place where several of the Gateway's members stand. Beth is among them, carrying her child. She tells Adam that these people are going to fix them. Of course, as she says this, she doesn't sound like herself. Adam's mother then starts talking cryptically to him. He doesn't understand what's going on. Her words turn dreadful when she says his baby will to be free of disease, in addition to other negative conditions of mortality. She will be like Lawrence. Adam looks at Beth, telling her this is insane. He wants to know what they told her. She was normal just hours ago. However, we should guess that she wasn't told anything in particular. She probably got affected somehow by the shadowy figure. Once that figure appears, some people hold Adam back. It takes his vanishing into the wall together. Adam, seeing this, falls to his knees and loses his mind. That's final words to him are that she loves him. It's uncertain how much time passes after that event, though we then see an unknown man walking the street. He seems like he's in a hurry somewhere. Upon entering an apartment with some junkies inside, he enters his room, which is full of papers on the wall. The man reveals himself to be Adam. He looks at pictures of him with Beth. Her face is crossed out, no longer someone he loves. The man has come back to intently observe all the research he has done. However much time passed, he may have devoted most of it to researching the phenomenon that turned his life inside out. It seems like he has become like Angela. The final shot is of him looking at a picture of his daughter. A sticky note next to her states, "Don't stop." This shows his devotion to finding her, perhaps the only thing he has left in this ruined life.